Welcome, Sovereigns. This is Imperia, and this is going to be a pick a path reading. I'm just going to leave both sides here and allow your intuition to choose which side you feel called to. I will start with path 1 and then I will move into path 2. For those of you who pick path 2, you can just forward to the next chapter. I have the timestamp in the description and also in the comments, or you can just scroll ahead to part 2. I'll give you a moment and then I'll begin. Okay, we're going to start with path 2. This is for your current situation. We're going to look at the overall theme, the overall energies that you're experiencing right now, and then we'll move on to the situation and then some advice. So you've got the stag spirit, take the lead. I feel like right now you are being asked to lead something within your life. This could be a project, this could be at work, this could be within your family or some sort of community. We also had the fox spirit, think on your feet. So I feel like there's going to be some sort of situation, if you're not already in this situation, that is going to be asking you to think quickly on your feet and to make decisions. Okay, you may have people come to you looking for advice. You may be a significant influence within some kind of group or community or at your workplace. You may be very knowledgeable, or you may have a specialty in something that people look to gain knowledge in. I feel like you are going to be a reliable source to people. You are going to be asked to lead. You may not directly be asked to lead, but there is going to be some sort of situation, or you are in some sort of situation where you are being called to lead in some way. This may be giving your advice, giving your opinion, taking the lead on a project at work, or giving advice. I'm seeing a lot of wisdom here. I'm seeing a lot of knowledge here. I feel like you are somebody who has a lot of resilience. You're also somebody who isn't very flashy. You don't try to stand out. You kind of just do your own thing. You don't look for validation. I feel like you are there when you're needed. I feel like you can be quite observant. I feel like you're also very good at reading people. I think you're a very observant person. You can see things that other people often miss. We're going to look at the situation where you are being asked to lead, where you are being asked to bring your knowledge and your specialties forward. We've got the Chariot, so I feel like something is going to be moving fast. As I said before with the fox energy, you are going to have to think on your feet. There may be some situations that are very urgent where you're going to have to make quick decisions, okay? I feel like you are the right one for this though, and I feel like everyone around you knows this because you don't panic. You don't panic in situations. You're observant. You're a quick thinker. You can work in the background to get things done. You don't lead in a loud way. You lead in a quiet way, a quiet power, and people feel this when they're around you. I feel like you're also very balanced. The Chariot is usually about balance. In the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck, the Sphinxes on this card represent yin and yang, quick thinking, quick decisions, and quick action. So I feel like you're definitely going to have something in your current situation or coming up very soon that is going to require you to think very quickly and act very quickly, and it may involve leading other people as well. We've also got the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is fire, so it's inspiration, it's passion, it's movement. This is all about action. So again, a lot of movement here. The Knight of Wands is someone who often impulsively jumps into action without thinking a whole lot. But I feel like with the Chariot here, this is going to be a balanced decision. You're not going to do anything rash, but this is going to be coming from a place of urgency. And I'm looking at him sitting on the horse, and in some of the other cards, the horse is rearing and it looks very fast moving. This one looks quite balanced actually, and the Knight of Wands is usually depicted as someone who is very impulsive, very passionate, can be someone who acts on his emotions and feelings of pleasure first. But I'm not getting this feeling with this combination. I feel more resilience from this card. I feel strength from this card. I feel balance. I feel like there's a sense of accomplishment here. So I feel like something is going to be accomplished, a goal is going to be reached, or something is going to be activated. If it isn't already happening, it's going to be happening very, very soon. Probably the week from the moment that you are watching this reading is when this energy will be activated. All of my pick-a-path readings, when you watch them, are activated from this moment forward up to 2 weeks, okay? We've also got the Four of Pentacles here. So I feel like you have everything that you need to do this, but I feel like you can be a little bit guarded, maybe a little bit rigid. Maybe you're not somebody who typically leads, or maybe you don't believe that you are meant for the leadership role. I feel like there may be a stereotype around what you think leadership should be or what you think you're capable of. You are very capable. I believe that you know this, but you use your capabilities in a different way, a quieter way. You don't really involve yourself in the nonsense of other people or drama, I feel, especially with the fox spirit here. You know, if you put down the guard a little bit, if you put down the barriers a little bit and let people in and let people know about what you know and what you can teach them and how you can guide them, I feel like it's going to be very rewarding. You can bring balance to the situation. You can bring balance to other people. You know, sometimes quieter ones are the strongest ones in the group. And I feel like that is what you're being called upon at this point. I've had the Tower in reverse, the Tower upright, as many of you may already know, is usually a symbol of the foundations breaking, something being destroyed, something being remade. This is usually something very shocking, something that comes in very quickly, but it looks like that has already happened, or the trajectory of this path where the tower may fall has been changed. In this situation, I feel like something has already come to pass that has put you in the path of leadership. It has prepared you for this moment, or it has prepared you for the trajectory you're about to step into now. Guiding others and providing insight is something that is going to be quite solid in your foundation moving forward. We've also got the Five of Wands here, so I feel like it's almost like you're walking away from this battle, and this could have something to do with the Tower moment, something that happened in the past. You know, the battle is over. It's not necessarily about winning, but I feel like there is this moment of relief. I feel like you feel relieved about something. Something may have just passed. This Tower moment, whatever the situation was. And I feel like you are moving on from it. You are moving forward. You have taken what you've learned from it and you're moving forward. And I feel like this has made you much more resilient, more wise. This has given you the foundation to guide others out of similar situations. It's like the moment after the storm, everything is destroyed, everything is quiet. There's just this really heavy, dense quiet. I feel like you may have had a moment like that sometime in the past, or you are going to have a moment like that very, very soon. I feel like experiences have really melded you into what you are now, and you're being given the opportunity, you're being given the test to express that outwardly and out into the world instead of just to yourself. We've also got the Hanged Man. I feel like something has broken open. That stillness after the storm, that stillness after the battle. I feel like this is you. You know, you're not taking a lot of action, which is very similar to the Fox Spirit energy. Think on your feet. But you are just being still. You are in a reflective energy right now, an introspective energy. I feel like you're not expecting, you're not rushing anything, you're just allowing things to be. You're kind of flowing through life right now. But I feel like this is going to get disrupted very, very soon. I feel like this is asking you to make sure that you're grounding yourself, making sure that you're centered, making sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're not overthinking situations, because I feel like when this situation comes where you're going to be asked to, you know, step forward and lead, or to offer advice or to offer guidance in some way, I feel like this is going to be the preparation stage for you. So you want to be very centered. You want to take time to meditate if that's something that you do, or take some time to reflect. You know, I don't feel like you're going to panic. You're not the type of person, at least now, to panic over situations. I feel like maybe you have become a little bit even indifferent or neutral in most situations. I feel like you can utilize this as a strength, because when you are being called to push yourself into action or to push others into action, I feel like this is where it's going to really shine, because you're going to be that balanced element in someone else's life, in someone else's moment. We've also got the Three of Swords, so this could have something to do with relationships. This could have something to do with someone else's relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it could be. It could be a personal relationship. But I feel like there's some kind of heartache, or there's some kind of lesson here. I feel like you may even be teaching a lesson. You may be a teacher, a guide. You may be taking something on that you haven't done before, or really stepping out into this leadership role where you will be almost like a spiritual guide or a relationship coach. That's something that I'm sensing. You could be a coach or a spiritual leader already, or you could be thinking about creating a business or putting yourself into this role. Whatever this is, I feel like you may be giving some advice on relationships, or you may be giving some advice that has to do with trauma or something of that nature. I feel like this is experience that you're going to be sharing. I feel like you've had your own experiences with heartache and heartbreak, and I feel like this is something that you have learned a lot about this. There's something that you have learned a lot about, and you're going to help others with this knowledge, with this wisdom. I feel like you haven't gotten to this place through walking an easy path. I feel like you're someone who has been melded and shaped and tested over time. And that's how you got to this place, and that's why you're able to do this now. So this is your confirmation. You are absolutely ready. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do this. Believe you can lead and guide others, because you have this within yourself and you have specific knowledge and awareness. I'm also getting a strong sense of awareness from you. You may be very self-aware or aware of other people, like you can read people really well, like I said before. This is your strength. This may have been something that caused you issues in the past or made things, a lot more difficult for you. But you have become very resilient. You have learned how to hold your boundaries. I feel like this is something that you notice in other people. And when you see other people, you're like, I recognize this. I have been through this. I see this clearly now. And that's how you can help other people, through this awareness, through just revealing this to them. All right, that's what I have for you. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, subscribe and join our inner circle. I'm going to now move on to path 2. If you would like a reading from me, I do offer personal readings if that's something that you are drawn to, and you will find that in my description. All right, moving on to path 2. We've got the wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings. Yeah, so I feel like you may have been through something recently, or you're going to, and it's going to sting, it's going to hurt. I feel like there is an opportunity here for growth. I feel like there is an opportunity here for change. We're just going to have a look now into the situation of what this could be. Quite a lot of cards fell out for you. So let's see what we have. We've got the 8 of Pentacles, so you are working towards something, and you have been working towards something for some time. You may have just started a project or started a new venture. This is something that you're working on now. I feel like you have consistency here. You are determined, but it isn't rushed. It isn't expecting. You are working very persistently on something. I feel like there's something that you are trying to achieve, but I also feel like you may have gotten a small win. But after you got this small win, I feel like things then at that point neutralized itself back to a point where maybe you feel, oh, I just got lucky. No, that's not the case. You are building momentum, okay? You really need to appreciate the small wins, even if they're not consistent, because it means it's showing you that you're building momentum. You're building your success. You're building your foundations. So I see some sleeplessness, some anxiety. You may have some restlessness or anxiety around either a situation or your work. I feel like this may be related to work or a project or something that you are trying to get off the ground, maybe a business or something of that nature. I feel like this occupies a lot of your thoughts. This is on your mind a lot, on your emotions a lot, and I feel like there's some restless energy here. I feel like this could have to do with the wasp spirit, where something stings right now. I feel like this is something you're going through at this moment. You are moving through this phase, moving through this energy. But I feel like something may be a little bit out of balance, or there is something on your mind that is worrying you. And I feel like it could have something to do with your finances, or it could have something to do with a project or a business. Perhaps even your job. If you have a traditional working environment, maybe there is some conflict around your work. You've also got the Queen of Wands. So I feel like this is how you express yourself outwards, the Queen of Wands. Very confident, very alluring, very magnetic, very strong, very capable. I see a leader here. I see somebody who is not scared of challenge, who invites challenge, who is resilient, who is open. But I'm feeling like you may be expressing this outward at this time, but there's something like this hiding in the background. This is playing on your mind in the background, even if you're expressing yourself like this outward. So at home, behind closed doors, you could be, not sleeping well. You could have some anxiety. It could have something to do around your work. Maybe this is expectations. Maybe you've started something new. I feel like this is your natural state. This is being challenged because there are expectations around you. That's what I'm sensing here. We've also got the High Priestess in reverse, so I feel like you're being called to use your intuition. You're being called to open the curtains and see behind them. I feel like there may be a disconnection, and I feel like because of this disconnection with yourself, this is why you're feeling this restlessness and this anxiety. Maybe you are feeling a strong need to perform, and that's taking you away from this centered, grounded place within you, where you trust yourself and you trust your intuition and you're questioning things. I've also got the Knight of Cups in reverse, so I'm feeling like you're not really feeling your feelings or listening to your emotions. I feel like this is going to be a key for you. It's going to be very important to get in touch with how you're feeling. You know, you've had 2 in reverse, emotions and intuition in reverse, while you've had restlessness and work and the Queen of Wands upright. So that's telling me there is expectations and pressure here, and it's impacting your ability to trust yourself. Maybe you're having self-doubts. Maybe an offer hasn't come in that you were expecting and it disappointed you, and it's shattering a little bit of this image that you had, or not when you choose the right time. When the universe chooses the right time. Okay, certain things sometimes need to be put into place first. All right, let's look at the advice. 4 of Wands. I feel like, yeah, at home, like as I said before, behind closed doors, this is probably where you let your guard down, you let the performance down, and you just, when you relax, you feel all of this emotion that you put on the back burner, and you feel it all at once, and it keeps you up, it makes you restless. So I feel like some balance needs to be restored at home. I feel like it's going to be very important to get in touch with your emotions, get some of that playful energy back. If there's any kind of stress or tension at home, it's going to be very important to deal with that, and to deal with that in a balanced, compassionate way. If there are people at home that you are connected to who are close to you, your family or your partner, if there are any issues there or there's any conflict or tension, it's going to be very important to open up the barriers of communication and talk and compromise, because I feel like that will help this situation that is happening so much more. Okay? And also, if there is anything being hidden, it's going to be very important to be truthful. So you're going to be moving away from hardship. You're going to be moving away from this heaviness. You may have already moved away from something that was very heavy. There's something that will or has come to an end. You may have had to make a decision, move away from something for your work, or because something wasn't working in the past. You've also got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So I feel like something didn't work out for you in the past, or you had to make a decision based on something that wasn't working for you, for your emotions, for your career, whatever it might be. I feel like you have shifted your timeline. You have completely turned the wheel of karma on its head. You are recreating karma. You are creating new karma for yourself by changing this direction and making this decision. I feel like you're going to be asked to turn your back on something that you may feel stuck in, or something that you feel you need to stay in. That just came to me, so I feel like that's important. I feel like it's going to be very important to listen to yourself and to listen to what it is that you want or think you should do, instead of intellectually thinking about what you must do, or the expectations of you and the performance of you. All right, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. This energy activates from the moment you watch this reading for 2 weeks after. I wish you the very best week, and I will see you again.